Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and today we're going to tap into the Akashic Records to see what message Source has for you. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it's meant for someone else. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. If you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also, all 12 zodiac signs will have their Akashic Records up by Thursday. And if you're hearing that hum in the background, I apologize. It's literally 90 degrees here today, so I need to have the AC on. Now, let's tap into the Capricorn Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the message for the Capricorn Collective from the Akashic Records at this time? What would you like them to know? One more shuffle. Thank you. Your message. Consider the options. At the bottom of the deck, scattered energy. You have narrowed your focus to one desired outcome, and you might be missing a bigger opportunity. Open up and let the universe send you the highest possible result. At the bottom of the deck, you have scattered energy. You have too much on your plate and have lost your focus. This is causing you to feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Prioritize your well-being and create a new plan. I hope that mic is on. It is. Okay. All right. Tell me why this is the message here for the Capricorn Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Why is consider the options and scattered energy their message from the Akashic Records at this time? Why is this their message? And if you're not familiar with this reading, I typically do them every 5 to 6 months. I think last year I did it May 2025 and then December 2025. And I figured with this new moon in Taurus that we just had last night, I'm recording this on the 17th, that it was time for me to do another round of these readings. So let's see what we have for the Capricorn Collective. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Ace of Cups, we have the Moon, and we have the Ace of Swords. Wow. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Pentacles. So this is I'm only considering this one option, whatever this one option is for you. But there are more options that you can't see here. Interesting that I mentioned the new moon in Taurus. So you have other options or more options here. Tell me about that Ace of Cups. Why is the Ace of Cups here? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Ace of Cups is clarified by the Queen of Cups, the Sun, and the Ace of Wands. Oh, 3 of the 4 aces on the table. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords. So this, I feel, is your that one option here where it says you've narrowed down your focus to one desired outcome. That's that Ace of Cups. That's that Ace of Wands. I have to do this either for love of self or because I love this person or I love the idea of accomplishing this goal. Again, I don't know what Ace of Cups or Ace of Wands is. It's different for all of you, but you seem to think that that is that would be like your only source of happiness, right? If I can just achieve that Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, I will be completely happy. I don't need anything else. I don't want to consider anything else. I have to be with this person. I have to not be with this person. I have to be at this job. You know, I have to not be in this job. There's something, there's like a delineation marker here in the Capricorn Collective. So it's like whether you're for or against this one person, place, or thing, is different for all of you, but your decision on it is like resolute. Like no one's going to change my mind about it. This is just how it has to be. It's very fixed in energy. The moon. Why is the moon here? Why is the moon here? I almost get the feeling I don't want to consider any other options because I would just get too emotional in that moon energy there. Because the moon could speak to our emotions as the moon rules Cancer. And the Queen of Cups here is, Queen of Cups is Cancer energy. All right, clarify that moon. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Nine of Swords. That's exactly what it is. The Three of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Bottom of deck, Six of Cups. So because of some, we'll call it emotional setback or emotional trauma or heartbreak, because for me, the Three of Swords is a sliding scale sword card. It could just be, I'm really disappointed in this person, to full out heartbreak. So I don't know where you are on the scale. Regardless of where you are on that Three of Swords scale, Nine of Swords, to think about that Three of Swords, you're saying here, no, this person, the Six of Cups, inflicted this pain on me or this disappointment on me or this betrayal on me. And it is better for me to just like suppress those feelings, right? I don't want to think about them at all. My pentacle resources, my time, my love, my money, etc., is best invested in this, whatever this is. This could be I want to learn a new skill. I want to enter a new connection. I want to plan a vacation. You know, that Ace of Wands could be anything. It's anything that is creative or has a spark of passion to it. It could be learning an instrument. It could be paint by numbers. I know I bring that up a lot in your readings. I don't know why. I think one of you watching is like a diehard paint by numbers fan. Whatever this is, I want to take a pottery class, a cooking class. I want to do some gardening, and that sun card here. Whatever it is for you. The feeling here is I can't even process this, so I don't even want to think about what occurred here with this person. I would rather invest Pentacle resources into this. And this is very fixed energy, even though there's nothing fixed here on the table, which is interesting to me that I keep getting that for you. Ace of Swords. And this is the scattered energy here, because the moment, like I'm speaking like you, the moment I start thinking about this, my energy gets scattered. So I don't even want to think about what this person did to me. I feel exhausted or overwhelmed just thinking about it. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Ace of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Swords. There you go. The Page of Swords and the Chariot. Bottom of deck, King of Swords. What if there was a way to do both? Like, have you considered that option? I feel like this is specifically for a group of you that you had this heartache, trauma, and you're investing in something, or you've decided, I'm going to do this for me, right? For love is self, Queen of Cups, most unconditional, in terms of like love, unconditional loving queen, right, in tarot. And it's someone who knows to love themselves first, right? I call her the smart queen on the airplane. She's the one who knows to put the oxygen mask on herself first before running up and down the aisle and helping others, because you're of no use to others, right? If you're not nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself first. So there's something like that here at play. And I think it's healthy. And I think in one of your readings in the last week or two, it was like, hey, Capricorn, it is not selfish to do this. In fact, this is long overdue. But I think I feel like this reading is specific for those of you where you're like, instead of healing this, I'm just going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on this renewal, learning this thing. You know what I mean? Taking care of myself. And I don't think Source is saying not to do that. I think it's saying we need to do both. We need to find a way to do both. We can move forward doing both. Tell me more about moving forward doing both. Tell me more about doing both. One more shuffle. Thank you. Because as self-nurturing as this is, if not used correctly, it can actually become a mask for this. I'll give you a quick example. I knew of a couple, they're not together anymore, knew of a couple years ago that after she I should say presumed or assumed his infidelity for about 3 years, but did nothing about it. Light confrontations of asking him questions, but when he denied it, she would drop it. And then like after 3 years, it was like full blown out in the open. There was no way. Like she had hardcore facts, I think like photos or something like that. So there was no disputing it at that point. Instead of focusing on the healing, number one, I would have left him, but everyone is different, okay? Instead of focusing on the healing, she jumped on the, hey, you know, we were going to do that remodeling thing on the house years ago. And he was like, yeah. She's like, we're going to move forward with it. I'm meeting with an architect. And in one sense, it was good that she had a project that she could feel invigorated in and would restore her self-esteem and self-confidence after taking such a hit from him. But she never healed this. She never healed what he did. And so $200,000 or $250,000 renovation later, she had this, and she's not happy today. She's not happy today because he continued the affair. She never processed this, and now it's compounded by finding out that the affair has continued. So I don't know if this is affair related. It's come up in some of your readings, and it doesn't have to be for all of you. But I think the point of the message and why I felt inclined to share that with you, this will feel good in the moment. Whatever project this is, something new, you know, like a new class you want to take, maybe you want to learn tarot, pick up a musical instrument. But if it becomes it's good for us to find something to channel our pain through. It's a good use of energy. I know when I get upset, I start cleaning the house. For me, it's a good use of energy. And at the end of the day, I feel very productive. And instead of being curled up on the couch or on the bed crying or upset or ruminating on the same, right, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords thing, that I actually got something done. And I have a really good night's sleep that night, right? Because I got rid of all of that energy doing something productive. So if you're doing it for that reason, I think it's a good thing. But if you're doing it to disguise this or to mask this, that doesn't help. Because this will still be here. And eventually another Three of Swords moment will happen to you. I'm not saying this person's going to do what they did to you again, but life is full of Three of Swords moment. And again, that's sliding scale. So you have a tiff with your neighbor, then a week later you have, you know, a client at work or customer at work gives you a hard day, you know, gives you a hard time. So life is full of those sliding scale Three of Swords moments. And if we're not handling the big one, then we can find ourselves in a situation where the smallest little thing becomes like, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back. And I think that's what Source is saying. I think you need to consider your option here. Your energy is very scattered. Instead of focusing on this at all, I'm just going to shove it down in the moon, going to suppress, and I'm going to focus on this. But I'm pretty sure in your life you did that before. And you probably still have some residual anger over whatever transpired back there. This is just going to compound it. There's a way here to do both. Tell me about doing both. Tell me about, like, we can move forward. There are two horses here. Look, black and white. So let's say the white is this new inspirational thing, right? And the black is just this dark, terrible experience that we had, right? An unfortunate circumstance. We can do both at the same time in that Chariot card. And I think that's what Source is trying to say. Like, let's consider the options of handling both. Tell me about handling both. One more shuffle. Thank you. Handling both. Queen of Wands, based upon my past experience, I am strong enough. King of Swords, I can do this. I think you can do this. Ten of Swords, you can handle this Ten of Swords. I think you can't. I'm just going to suppress it. I'm going to focus on the home remodel. That's great, but you didn't address this. Whether you keep the person or not, you didn't address this. Internal to you, you didn't address it. What is that Three of Swords? Excuse me. We'll take it. Three of Swords. King of Wands on the side. Nine of Wands. And the Knight of Wands. Oh boy. Bottom of deck, Two of Wands. So you had or have, I don't know if this person's still in your life or not, an individual, doesn't have to be a fire sign, doesn't have to be a masculine, but you have someone here who had two choices in the Two of Wands. They could have shown up as the best version of themselves, King of Wands, and take appropriate action in respect to their connection with you. Or they could show up as an inconsistent Knight of Wands and show up as the least desirable, you know, version of themselves. And they chose the least desirable version. The King is on its side, the Knight is upright. And smack in the middle is you and the Nine of Wands as the wounded warrior. So this person had a choice to do the right thing or do the wrong thing by themselves, by you, in respect to their connection with you, and they chose to do the wrong thing. And I don't think you saw it coming. The Two of Swords, you're blindfolded here. And it's almost like you don't want to look at it. We're going to focus on the home renovation. I'm going to focus on painting. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. Can't pretend it didn't happen. It happened. So based upon my past experience, there's something here of being honest with yourself, right? For me, queens exist in the present because they process the past. I have a Queen of Wands here looking at that King of Wands, saying, I can't believe you effed me over like that. But I'm strong enough. I have to see things clearly. Ace of Swords, that I'm strong enough to handle both. I can reserve 30 minutes a day to process what this person did to me, and I can reserve 30 minutes a day to work on that. I feel like you have to do both here. It's just coming from the, you know, it's just the message that I'm receiving. If you look at the Akashic records, if you believe in them, I assume you do since you're watching the reading, but it is basically the universe's account or story of your soul's journey. And at this point in your soul's journey, you're dealing with this, but choosing to suppress it and focus on this. And it's really important for the next chapter of your soul's journey, for what comes after this Three of Swords, that this is handled. Whether you continue to deal with this person or not. Because you will have other people in the future that you will deal with. Acquaintances, soulmates, friends, family members, lovers. And at some point in time, they're going to Three of Swords you to some degree. And if this keeps mounting up and mounting up and mounting up, you become a powder keg. And I think we had that for you. I think like last year, one of your readings was like you suppress, suppress, suppress. But then when you get really peed off, it comes out like a volcano. It's starting to happen again. And that's why this needs to be addressed. And I don't mean you have to address it with this person. I mean, you could if you chose to. But it needs to be addressed within you. We can't pretend this didn't happen. And I think the only way through is through. I think you have to feel your way through this, Capricorn. I think you got to cry. I think you got to get angry. Maybe talk to someone. But I don't think you can suppress this. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Eight of Cups, the World card, and the Four of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Six of Cups. Again, whoever this person is here. The cycle here needs to be closed out. I don't mean that you never talk to this person again, or you have to get a divorce, or, you know, never talk to this best friend again. I don't know who this is. I'm not telling you to quit your job. But the cycle here of pain, of the emotional disappointment in the Eight of Cups needs to be World card closed out. Otherwise, you're going to move forward in life, and you'll have other Three of Cups experiences, which is celebration and community and harmony, and you're never going to be fully content with them. That $250,000 renovation is not going to heal this. And you'll still be disappointed in the Four of Cups. So I think Source is saying you can do both. This is great for healing yourself and finding, again, a good focus of your scattered energy. But this has to be taken care of, healed. Can we get healing advice for the Capricorn Collective on how to heal this? One more shuffle. Thank you. Healing advice for you. Two of Pentacles, time management, the Hierophant, and the Three of Cups. Bottom of that, Queen of Swords. This past experience that this Queen, you know, within your energy is holding on to. This needs to be addressed. You need to create time, and you have to be dedicated to that, right? The Hierophant is Taurus energy. And there's something here like, I need to be dedicated to addressing this, just to restore happiness to myself. And I know in the moment, you're probably thinking, well, that is not going to restore happiness. Sitting here crying for an hour is not going to restore happiness. It will. It will. Because in the future, you have a better chance of this version of the Three of Cups than this version of the Three of Cups. Both instances, we have people or a person around the Three of Cups. And this is genuine happiness. And this is, oh, yeah, it's a birthday party. But in your mind, this is always going to be circulating. And so I feel like this needs to be addressed, or it just becomes a haunting shadow of a wound you never healed. Let's get you some advice here. So I would, Two of Pentacles, create the time management here. And again, I would be very, I know you're very fixed on this, but I would be very fixed on this as well. Every day for 30 minutes, I'm going to do this. Either I'm going to look up videos on betrayal, or how to overcome betrayal, how to overcome disappointment. There's so many self-help tools, like even if you don't want to go speak to an actual counselor, sometimes Hierophant, you know, comes up as like a counselor. But even if you don't want to do that, there's so many self-help things. You're probably watching this on your cell phone. I'm on YouTube. There are plenty of gurus and self-help guides, self-help videos on YouTube. And if you don't want to go that route, if you're comfortable using AI, you can use AI to, you know, kind of help you work through it. I have Gemini on my phone. Some people use Grok. You know, you use whatever you want. And you could just type it out and say, this is what happened to me, and what are the top 3 things I need to focus on for my healing. And I use AI like a speedy internet search, if you will. I don't use it. Some people use it and they actually like make friends like with their AI counterpart. Nope, I don't do that. I think that's a little weird. No offense if that's what you do, but I do use it as a search engine tool. And that might be something that you want to do. Again, it's just what's coming through in the message. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. So yeah, you have too much on your plate, and instead of suppressing, we need to take a look at that. So the next Three of Cups celebration or moment of happiness you have in your life is truly the Three of Cups. One more shuffle here. Thank you. You have the Ten of Cups, your happiness, Page of Pentacles, and the Devil. See? Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords. I think you need to control this. I think you have to do this. Otherwise, you know, the Devil card in Tarot, I know that it's you, and I know that you're ruled by Saturn, but the Devil card could talk about bondage. And I feel like you would be bonded to this wound. And I would rather see you heal the wound in small steps, learning, right? Page of Pentacles is I'm learning tangible ways how to heal this, while also maybe learning something new. Like, I think you can do both. I think that's how you restore happiness to yourself. That's how you become in alignment with yourself. The Ten of Cups is emotional contentment when you are aligned with you. Whether you have one person in your life or 10 people or 100 people in your life. And so I think this is something you need to do. Otherwise, this becomes some type of invisible albatross wrapped around you. And all of those beautiful Three of Cups moments that are waiting for you will always be shadowed and plagued by what transpired here with this person. That's what I have for you at this time. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that on your mobile device. And until I read for you again, be gentle with yourself. And as always, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.